Welcome back, Jazz fans. Another week of Jazzed Fans TV. Paul Sheffield.
Carson Wood.
Came back strong. Another great week. Not a clean sweep week, but a good week nonetheless.
We both didn't feel like it was going to be clean sweep. The streak was too good. We won the games we were supposed to.
Everyone stumbles once in a while.
Yeah.
Not a big NBD. No big deal.
We blew out the other ones.
Ooh, yes, we did. It was a great week. I loved this week. And even the game we lost, we'll get into it, but it was a great game. It was a fun game.
Yeah, and I mean, we'll get into it more. Brandon Ingram is very good at basketball, it appears.
Very good at basketball.
Do you want to? I mean, let's just jump into the box scores and everything.
Yes.
This was the trap game that you thought you were a little worried about. Which, granted, it was on a little bit of a turn. It wasn't a back-to-back, but I think there's only one game, and we had to go out to Washington. Wizards have
mid-afternoon game.
Yeah. It was a fair one to assume that we could lose, but the Jazz pulled it out.
The Jazz did. They played really, really well, and probably the most impressive part of this win, no Donovan Mitchell.
Nope.
Didn't play, and we still won. No
Yeah.
Conley, no Mitchell, no problem.
And we won convincingly.
Yeah.
Like, we had 6 players in double digits. We had 21 from Gobert, 31 from Bogdanovich, who, my goodness, man, he is keeping us afloat. Joe with 20, Moutier with 14, Royce with 10, and Jordan Clarkson with his season high with us, 23.
4 players over 20 points.
Yeah.
That's amazing. When you look at a box score, you're like, that's spreading the ball around, and everyone's playing really, really well.
It's going to be really hard to beat us if you have 4 players with. I mean, that's any team though.
Yeah.
But I mean, the thing is we legitimately have 4 players that can do that. Yeah, I mean, it could be if Donovan's in the lineup, he wasn't, granted, but Donovan, Bogdanovich, Rudy, Joe could go for 20, Clarkson could go for 20.
It's not hard to beat this team. It would be hard to beat any team doing that. You just kind of throw up your hands. You're like, well, they won.
Yeah, and I think the difference is it's like, yeah, any team scores 20, but the Hawks aren't going to have 4 players with 20 points.
No.
So it's like, how many teams can actually do that on a consistent basis?
On the NBA level.
There's a handful. There's not a lot.
Only 11 turnovers, too. Really, really, really good. And another thing that I really took away from this was went down early, lost the first quarter, didn't lose a quarter after that. But we're down at half. Again, halftime, I feel like the Jazz have done that a lot, being down at the half and coming back in the second half with adjustments. And I think that speaks to Quinn Snyder more than anything.
Yeah. Also rotation.
Yeah.
Like, before, if we went down, before we got Clarkson, if we went down, it was a coin flip if we were going to come back.
Sure.
With this team, this unit, again, even with Mitchell out, we're always going to be fighting for it. We're never out of the game. I think at one of these games, I can't remember which one, we were down 15, I think, and still came back and won.
That's what I like to see. Love it. Nets?
Nets, for me, this seems like Rudy Gobert's coming out party. I think I mentioned it last video.
What do you mean coming out party?
The last video I mentioned that sometimes I creep on I don't ever comment, but I creep on other subreddits, either on our NBA or the actual specific team. There finally seem to be, like, Kyrie has a monster game, and everybody knows he is what he is. And then Rudy Gobert, that's who everybody was actually talking about. It's like, yeah, no Rudy. You have, like, pretty much anybody else in there. With Kyrie's effort that he put in, the Nets win. And Rudy abused Jared Allen. He is our best player.
He is our best player. Yeah.
Obviously, like we said, with Donovan, we can still win. Rudy, we could still win.
Not for long.
Our winning percentage would go down significantly without Rudy, as opposed to
Absolutely.
Donovan, Bogdanovich, obviously Conley, Joe Ingles, Royce O'Neal.
He's just not a sexy player as far as huge number stat lines. This was a great stat line. I mean, 22 and 18. If you're getting that from your big man, that's strength right there.
Mm-hmm.
But Rudy does so much more even when he's not scoring. But this, like kind of what you said as a coming out party, was more of just on a national scale, New York, big lights, and it went well. It went very, very well.
One thing I wanted to talk about, I wanted to see, because, I mean, I haven't got to really talk to you about it, and this was one of the big things, and people were ripping him. This wasn't after our game, but it happened this week. Do you have any issue with the comments from Kyrie about saying they need more pieces?
I'm so over Kyrie, man. I'm so sick of it, dude. You wanted to be the guy. You left Cleveland. You didn't like being the guy in Boston. Now you're the guy again. KD's out, and now, stop. Just stop. Stop. I'm over it.
One guy, so I think it was between him or Seth Curry last year for 3-point percentage was Joe Harris. He didn't even mention Joe Harris.
No?
I don't know how you say, we need another piece with this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy. How do you not even mention Joe Harris? Joe Harris is one of the best 3-point shooters in the league. It seemed super disrespectful. I mean, I guess whatever. I think with that mentality, though,
But there was no way you could have come into this season thinking you were going to win it without Kevin Durant.
Right.
Why would you say this right now? If you had Kevin Durant and you were at full strength, then maybe we can understand these comments. But you haven't even seen your team the way it's supposed to be constructed.
Mm-hmm.
Shut up, man.
And for me, this is an indictment on him as a leader.
Yeah.
So I shied away from that kind of stuff because I was like, give him, calm down. It's like he's kind of frustrated in the situation that he's in Cleveland and blah, 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 and blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. But Boston, whatever it is. But this one is very apparent now. He cannot lead a team the time that he is an all-world talent. Nobody's arguing that. But he had to have LeBron as the leader on Cleveland to be successful. He was the guy in Boston. Obviously didn't work out, and he had amazing pieces there.
Yeah.
Do you think you're going to get better pieces than you had in Boston? Yes, you'll get Kevin Durant, but it's the cast there. For me, it's an indictment on him as a leader. That's what I'll leave it as. I don't think you can say stuff like that and continue to have a good relationship with people. I don't know what else you think you're going to do with two max players.
And I think he had all the pieces when they won the championship in Cleveland. I think they did. I'm, trying to recall.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
You remember when you won it all, and there were a lot of pieces around you, and you didn't like that? So I don't know what you want at this point. You didn't like the pieces that were getting it done, so I guess do what you got to do, Kyrie.
Yeah, I mean,
it's just like a person that's never going to be happy.
No, yeah, that's the thing. He will never be happy. He can't be a leader. That's why LeBron is who he is, because he took that team and led them. Anyways, let's more focus on the Jazz. I didn't mean to get us so sidetracked on that. But big shout-out to, again, Rudy, as we said, and Joe Ingles with his season high.
Jingling.
He had a monster game, 27 points, 6 for 8 from 3, 10 for 14 field goal percent, or 10 for 14 from field goal. That, you just love to see it. You don't expect it from Joe all the time, but 27 points and him just chirping, just
getting jingled,
just elates me. Just deep down, and it comes out. I just wait for it. I want it to happen. It makes me so happy.
That's good.
You got anything else on this game?
No.
On to the next one. The loss.
The loss. We haven't had to do this in a minute, and I like it. It's sad, though. I mean, Donovan had 46, went off. Really good performance. You also had 26 from Bogdanovich. You'd think a win would come out of that if your top two guys are just going the way they're going. It was a tough game. I don't want to say that we were owed one from the Pelicans, but we were owed one. that foul that wasn't a foul. I don't know. What do you think?
So one, I was at soccer. I came home to watch the latter. I think it was I caught a bit of the third and then the end of the fourth. And then I seen some of the highlights as well. I think there was over 20 ties and lead changes that game. It was
a great game.
The best quarter that I've seen in a long time. You saw two All-Stars going off. So one, obviously we know about Brandon Ingram, but this was a different level as I'm going to be worried every time we face the Pelicans now. He is legitimately an All-Star from what I saw.
Oh, absolutely.
I didn't realize, he's like Durant light.
Really? That's an interesting comparison.
Yeah, long and can shoot. He had Rudy in his face on one of them, and he's having a fadeaway at mid-range, sinking him. He gets fouled. He's really, really, really crafty, and it seems like he can hit him from anywhere. With him putting up big numbers on the last two games that we've played him, do you think we have a problem with long fours that can shoot? Everybody has a problem with it, but I mean, specifically.
No.
Rudy can't guard him at the perimeter. Royce can't guard him.
This is our third game against him already, and we're 2-1. I'll take him in a 7-game series. We're not gonna sweep them. We're not gonna dominate them. They're gonna have their good games, and I'm not saying we should have won or we should have expected to win. They've got good pieces around them. They were at home. We had just beat them in a close game, but no, I'll take the. Anytime worry comes in is if, in my mind as a basketball watcher, is would we be able to beat this in a 7-game series? And my answer is yes.
Well, it's not. So I was more asking like a long four that can shoot. Like I guess
No.
everybody's gonna have, but I mean, are we gonna have monster problems with it? Like an AD, like
No.
All right.
I'm more worried about, and always have been, an athletic shooting guard. That's always been my biggest concern as far as the Jazz. We've got players that can guard a long four, but I mean, AD is one of, if not the best player. I mean, everyone has a problem with him. Do you know what I mean?
I mean more like I know we're gonna have a problem with those. Everybody's gonna have a problem with them. But him almost putting up 50, and I think he put almost 40 up the last time. So you have your Kawhis, ADs, KDs next year. More I'm worried about is this. Can we not limit them?
I mean, I guess not, because they score. I don't understand the question. He scored. He played. He shot 40. He got 40 almost in the last.
This is a one-off
49.
game. Is what I'm saying is.
I'm not worried.
Okay.
I'm not worried. I think we'll be just fine. We've got plenty of defense to guard a long four.
I hope so.
I mean, me too.
I want it to be Royce, and I know that was one thing that you mentioned. Like, I don't think that's where we need him for. And I was like, well, if Patrick Beverley can do it against KD, which probably is lightning in a bottle, I don't think it's going to happen consistently. I just feel like they're going to outmatch somebody at the four, but, I mean, there's always going to be a mismatch. And I agree with you. I think we have the defensive capabilities and the know-how. We'll figure something out.
Yeah, 100%. Absolutely. And it was a great game. And Jazz fans, let's just remember one thing. If Rudy hits 2 free throws, we win that game. So we can get mad all we want. It came down to free throws. If we get those 2, it's over.
So did you saw the play at the end of the game where we got the free throws?
Yes.
Foul or no foul? Would you call it? I mean, obviously,
it's a foul.
Would you call it?
Yeah. Would you not?
No. No,
That's fair.
No, I wouldn't call that at all.
We can disagree on that.
And then the other one, him fouling out. Did you see that one where Brandon Ingram drove?
That I missed.
So, yeah, for me, I'll kind of answer this one then. Not a foul for me. And they went and reviewed it. So he comes up, and Rudy pretty much goes straight up. And I guess you could say maybe he got him on the elbow, but he goes straight up. And Ingram contorted his body and came like – so he's going at the basket, pulls down almost, and goes like this. And Rudy just straight up. There's contact. But I feel like that wasn't a foul. Once Rudy goes out, I knew we were going to lose, even with our lead.
Yeah, 100%.
The refs took over this game. That was the unfortunate thing because they kind of a little bit tainted a classic. But for me, it's the best game that I've watched in years as far as regular season goes.
In years?
As far as I can remember,
okay.
It's the best regular season game. It was really, really exciting. And you saw 2 All-Stars going at it and 2 teams that really wanted to win.
Wow.
I could not hate on that game at all, except for the refs. But
I don't know
the
if
right
it was just
team
because,
won.
I don't know if it was just because I was there, but last year's game in February against the Nuggets,
Mm-hmm.
oh my gosh, that one just stands out. That was just a slugfest the whole way. It was a fun game,
Yeah.
but this was a good one too. The Kings is just a solid game all around. Only 8 turnovers, ahead the whole way, in control the whole time. It really felt good. Just being home, the nice unis, everything just. I like that classic white. I just do. I like that nice just. We're home. Here's our white jerseys. Every once in a while, it's just refreshing.
Well, I think we are going to. I think I saw the jerseys coming up. I think we have 14 of those. That's going to be the majority of the games.
I like that white jersey. I do. It's just it's a Jazz jersey. I don't know.
I actually was thinking about getting one because I don't have that one or a blue one because I always am like, I'll get one next year.
Yeah.
I want either the retro or I think I'm going to get one. Like a Rudy blue seems to make sense.
I love it. 4 players again, over 20 points, which is always good.
Yeah. Well, and the other thing is like our bigs went big. This is kind of the theme of the week. Paul, go look at that light real quick.
What is happening? What is happening with the light? Chill out.
Push the plug in the back a little bit. It did that last week, and I pushed it in a little, and it stopped.
Apologies.
There you go.
I can ignore once or twice, but after that,
the strobe light. This is not a dance party.
We
have no. Hey, don't do it.
Don't. We don't use you enough for you to have problems.
No. Our big 3 players went off again. Bogdanovich had 27 by the third quarter. Rudy did anything and everything that he wanted to in the paint. He's getting better catching in traffic too.
Yeah.
And then Mitchell, still had 22. like I said with the other games, if they're going to be performing like that, we're going to be very, very competitive for the rest of the year.
Very tough to beat.
Very impressive performance.
I mean, it's the Kings. The Kings are bad. But it's beating teams that we're supposed to beat. Goes back to that thing. Dude, this light, I'm getting pissed.
Let me go look at it. You talk.
There's nothing to look at.
Let me just have a gander.
All right. Have a gander. Watching this game, another thing I got to just love is Jordan Clarkson's handles are amazing. He really just does very, very well. I really like the way he handles the ball, his demeanor, his ability to be coached. I really, really like that. It's light, man. I checked it. I did what you told me to do. Moutier only having 2 points was kind of rough, kind of sad. I don't enjoy that. I want to see him continue to have success. And George Niang kind of came back down to earth this week for me anyway, as far as what he can actually become. And I'm really interested to see what happens with Niang when we approach the tougher part of our schedule, as it is coming. That this cake schedule of easy opponents rapidly finishing up, as we will see when we talk about our preview.
Yeah. I hope this light is.
I don't know what's going on.
Listen, you may just have to deal with the strobe light dance party if it continues. I think it's acting right though.
We'll try.
This was a game we should have won. Not gonna go too in depth on it. I think was this the game? Yeah, Royce only had 2 points, and his plus minus was still ridiculous.
Yeah.
The interesting thing is that I will say is,
and Ingles only 2. Surprising.
Yeah, but he had 12 assists, I think. Yeah. It's weird. I would just say if you're getting frustrated with how people act about the Jazz, even Jazz fans online, if you get to go to the arena, talk to the people next to you, because everybody is super excited still about the things we're excited about. They're excited about Joe and what he can do. They're excited about Conley. They're, from what I saw last night, tempered expectations. They say we need to work him into the lineup, but they still want to see him in the starting lineup. They believe in him. I really like to see him going forward, and I'm excited to see what we can do. But let's get into Player of the Week.
Player of the Week, no surprise, coming out party, nationally speaking. We've known him for a long time, and he's been the Player of the Week. Rudy Gobert.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen a market shift in. Well, one, you can just tell he wants that All-Star nomination. He values it. You could he's having maybe his best stretch that I've seen in the regular season. Like, he is dominating on both ends. Like, offense, like he's consistently getting over 20 points. I think he only had lower than 20 once this week. I think he had 17 one of the games.
Yeah.
But I mean, his stat line for him,
and this was his season high too.
Yeah, 22-point average, 15 and a quarter rebounds, and 2.5 blocks. The only game we lost is the game that he fouled out. I mean, granted the refs helped us out a little bit, but if Rudy stays in that game, I 100% think that we win. We've said it before, and I will say it again here. He's the only player that we can't go without for a stretch.
For a long period of time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We might even be able to figure out a win if he goes out. I don't like our chance if that's the case, but he is irreplaceable.
100%. And we were talking I don't know if we mentioned it on this, but he was in the top 10 of MVP rankings or something like that. He came in 10th. 100% agree. He's the heartbeat, and he makes such a difference even when he's not scoring.
Yeah,
he's just not that sexy scorer, so he doesn't get the respect he deserves.
I can't remember if we talked about it on this, but that was one of my biggest pet peeves is people were like, lol, Rudy at 10, and I think he's actually moved up, but it's like...
As he should.
Yeah, it's like Bam Adebayo, like, I don't have a problem with anybody else in the list, but Rudy absolutely deserves to be in the list. Like, most valuable player, not highest scoring player, not best offensive performance, most valuable. We're realistic. We understand, and you've said this more than me, is he the best center in the league?
No.
Is he the best center in the Western Conference?
No.
Is he even the best center in our division?
Why do make it
answer the question.
The answer is no, of course. Why? Why are you making me go down that rabbit hole?
So Jokic is the best overall
center. That's correct.
But we would be bereft to not express that Rudy is still probably top 3, top 4 centers, and we just so happen
I
to
honestly
have
would put
2
him
in our
2 now.
division.
I would put him 2 now.
Yeah.
Honestly. I really would.
Yeah.
Call me biased, but if I can put someone in my division above him, then I feel like I'm being as fair as humanly possible.
Exactly. And the fact that you can't like even acknowledge like, oh yeah, well, a defensive, like he's putting up offensive numbers, and even more importantly, he changes the game. And I mean, really, thank you for everybody that did recognize that with this week. We get defensive of him because he's defensive, and we love him. But
I can't wait for his bobble.
We won't go on too much longer on Rudy, but we love you.
Looking
so
ahead,
much. We're gonna actually have new bobbles here in about a week and a half. It's gonna be a new Rudy.
New Rudy, defensive player of the year. I had to. Must buy. Must buy. Just take my money. Shut up and take it. Just shut up. Here it is. This is why I earn money.
I think they have one of the stupid advertising like banners at the bottom, but I don't care. He has the 2 defensive players.
Does it?
I think so.
Don't say that to me. That hurts my
I
heart.
think it's like a Mountain America or something.
Oh, if it does, I'll be pissed.
No, it doesn't then.
I'll be pissed. The only ones that I've ever seen that have like logos are the ones that are free. Like free bobbleheads always have like a thing, and that's fine. But to pay for a bobble, I don't know. Whoa, Jazz, you might get a not sponsored by on the podcast. It might get. Do not mess with my Rudy 2-time defensive player of the year bobble. I am in love with it, and if you tarnish it with advertising, it might get real. Don't, Carson. Don't.
Were you turning down the?
I'm turning down the. Don't. I don't want to see.
I don't want to see.
I don't want to know. I don't want to know.
I can't see the rest of things.
Looking
if
ahead.
You do that.
Looking ahead.
It doesn't.
It doesn't.
And he got the city jersey on.
That's what honestly, that's another, because I have a Donovan City bobble, and now I'm going to have a Rudy and their highlight moments. One's the dunk contest, it's just erect. I am so happy. I'm a kid at heart. I don't care that I'm turning 35.
I feel like I'm a kid, especially when it comes to like people are like, why do you love the Jazz so much? It's like, I don't know, man. I just remember John Stockton hitting a shot and me grabbing pots and pans with my cousin and then going out with wood spoons and banging on them, just excited as can be the Jazz are going to the finals. I didn't even realize what the finals meant then. I figured it happened all the time. It doesn't, by the way. Haven't been back since. I don't know. We're kids at heart. That's why we do this.
It's a good, clean fun.
Look at the Pacers.
Yeah. So we got this week. We have home against the Pacers, at Golden State, home against Dallas. So 3 games. I'm just going to go right off the bat. Bold prediction: clean sweep week. I think we go 3-0.
I actually was saying 2-1. And I disagree with myself as of an hour ago.
Nice.
With both the hard games being at home. Mm-hmm. And one, I think Bogey gets up for the Pacers. Not that he's upset with them.
Revenge game tomorrow night. Revenge game.
I think he's been playing well, and I think he's going to continue on. Miles Turner, I don't think he can really deal with Rudy, how he's playing right now.
Yeah.
You're injecting Conley back into the lineup. That's another weapon. That's a weapon.
We got weapons. In a game, weapon always wins.
Has he been playing?
Not at all. No.
That's a reference to another video that was amazing. Sabonis, I think, is the guy to look out for. Does everything for him. I think he's the heir apparent to Bogdanovich on that team.
Yeah.
We got too many weapons, as it were.
Weapons. A weapon always wins. And then at Golden State, we got to chalk that to a W. That's a game we have to win because the 25th of January, our schedule turns brutal, starting with Dallas. However, 2 days off. Porzingis has been in and out of the lineup. I don't know if he's going to play. I think the energy is going to be there. It's an afternoon game. I think we're going to get up for this game and make a statement because everyone's talking about Dallas and Doncic. I think we win this game. I think we're going 3-0.
So with the Warriors, you've mentioned this many of times. We have a problem with shooting guards.
Yeah.
And they've got 2 guys that are actually performing really well in Damian Lee and D'Angelo Russell. Actually, do you think they'll trade Russell before the deadline?
Yes.
Can it be before we play them?
Probably not.
Damn it!
This is the last time we play them, though, for the year. Thank goodness. We're done with Golden State. Or I guess maybe not glad. I'd like to play them some more.
Yeah.
But
I think we match up against them very well.
We're switching out Golden State for Dallas now. Great.
Yeah.
And Houston.
And the Nuggets. We haven't played the Nuggets
I
yet.
know.
I think we win the game pretty easily. We just can't let the guards get hot.
Sure.
Again, to kind of your point in the last few weeks. And then the gauntlet starts with the Mavericks.
It does not get easier.
Does the unicorn play? Who knows? But I think
we have the best record in the West at home. I think I stand by our fans.
I meant to look this up, but I don't think the Mavericks are a great defensive team, and we can limit you. And then we have been hanging. We've had, I think, every game this week close to a 40-point quarter, like 35 to 40-point quarter. I mean, we can drop points on you in a hurry. I don't think Dallas really has anything for that. I know everybody loves Doncic. I don't think he's like really a defensive presence as much. He's long, but he's not like super quick. He's not lateral. I think we have the tools to beat him. Porzingis is the only thing that really worries me is dragging Rudy out to the perimeter. But I still think we win.
Yeah, absolutely. And I can't – I wanted to mention this earlier, but we're officially halfway through the season. We played our 41st game. We're 29-13. Couldn't be happier.
Yeah.
We're almost a 30-win team by the halfway mark. You'll take that 10 times out of 10 as a fan. Like, we're at the halfway mark. We're playing great. We're right there at the top. We're going to keep going.
Do you like us at a 58? Like, say that we just replicated this for the latter half of the year. Do you like us as a 58-win team, or do you want to see us get into the 60s? Obviously, you want to get in the 60s, but is it necessary?
You want to get into the 60s? I don't think so. Finger in the wind, 58. I think we're going to just miss 60. There's really tough games coming. I think if we can throw off a 58-win season, you're a happy team.
Where does that put us for seeding if we did get 58?
2 or 3. I think I really think we can get the 2 or the 3 seed somewhere. It all depends, honestly, on who we lose to, who we beat, how that all shakes out.
I really actually want the Mavericks.
Oh, to play them in the playoffs.
Yeah.
I thought you meant like win. I was like, why would you want them to win?
No, I really actually want them.
I'll take that. I'll take an unexperienced playoff team in the first round all day.
I feel like the Thunder aren't going to stick around, but the Grizzlies also I would love to play, but I think if they do...
I don't want to play against Jay Crowder. I love him too much.
I think they're going to get probably the 8th seed if they do sneak in.
Yeah.
Well, still a lot to play for.
Sure.
You mentioned this on the podcast that there were, I think we have...
Oh, yeah. From 8 to 14 was a 4-game spread.
Yeah.
Second to last in the West to the 8 seed, 4 games. That's crazy.
Do you see any other teams making like movement upward, or do you think it's
the Pelicans? No, I honestly think the Pelicans, when Zion comes back, could be the team to make a move. I think Memphis and the Pelicans could be the 7 and the 8 seed. I think Thunder fade. If you want bold prediction, that's mine. Pelicans make the playoffs.
Crazy thing is the Thunder may be looking to trade Steven Adams to the Hawks.
Yeah, who just picked up George Teague, which makes no sense.
Yeah, that's
unless Minnesota's just looking to clear cap space for a Cat D'Angelo Russell trade. That's why I think he does get traded. There's real big, and honestly, do it. I'm not worried.
Nope, don't hate that.
If you want Cat Williams in Golden State, bless you.
Oh, yeah, and D'Angelo Russell, like being in an outpost with the Timberwolves, at that point is
that just
rough.
When Teague went to the Hawks, my mind just immediately was like D'Angelo Russell trade because that's been out there.
Suns have been playing well too, but I agree with you. I think the Pelicans have the pieces.
Yeah, no, I do.
Especially after what I saw from Brandon Ingram. Favors actually had a great game that we didn't really talk about him, but I mean they have pieces. Lonzo's kind of putting it together. I would like to see them with upward movement, but and I don't want to. Well, I'm fine with playing them, but I want the Mavericks. That's all I got.
Absolutely. Thanks so much for listening, watching. This is a YouTube channel.
Come on, Heat next week with the freaking Rockets. #FTR. It's coming.
3-0. Jazzed Fans TV. We'll see you at the game 2 this week. Come out and check out interviews with us. But until then, have a great week. Bye-bye.